This is a story that Jimmy Fallon told me about Nick Swardson when I worked for him. So it's like 2005 and I'm stage managing for Jimmy Fallon at his now very much closed comedy nightlife club. And I go to check the books to see what we have for reservations and ticket sales. And there's a note that says Nick Swardson's going to be joining us this evening. This was a really popular time for Nick Swardson, and I think I literally said, ooh, Nick Swardson, which is weird for me because I deal with celebrities all the time, especially at this job. Steve Buscemi used to come in with his son, like, regularly. Like, I didn't really think anything of it normally, but I said, ooh, Nick Swardson. Just then, Jimmy walks up beside me, and he was like, what are you oohing about? And I was like, oh, I saw Nick Swardson might be coming in tonight. And he looks me up and down, and he's like, you know I'm somebody too. And I think that Jimmy this was coming from a sensitive place because this was after SNL, but before he had his late night talk show gigs. So I think he was still trying to be like, you know, I'm somebody too. And then he tells me a story about the last time that him and Nick Swardson are together, and they were in Hollywood at a very Hollywood party, and they're waiting in line for the bathroom, and this very hot girl walks up and basically just tries to cut in front of them. And he said it was just like, you know, those kinds of hot girls that are so hot that everybody just does everything for them and they don't really expect anyone to push back, you know? So she was just like, I'm gonna just scooch in front of you, like to the front of the line. And Nick looked at her and he was like, oh, you just need to scooch in front of us? And she was like, yeah. And then he went to the door, the bathroom door, and starts banging on it. And he says, you gotta open the door. This lady's got diarrhea and it might go everywhere. He was like, it's an emergency. And all these hot people at the party start looking around, like, obviously they're looking at the lady, they're looking at Nick Swardson, they're looking at Jimmy Fallon. Like, what's going on? The person comes out of the bathroom, they, you know, swing open the door, and they're like, whoa, what's going on? Nick apparently, like, shuffled her into the bathroom, like, hurry up, you gotta go. She goes in there, and I guess she was in there pretty quickly because she didn't want people to think she actually had diarrhea. Jimmy said it was definitely worth waiting the extra couple of minutes because it was so funny, and he was like, I'll probably remember that forever. I was like, I will remember this forever because that is so funny. And now I think of that story anytime someone mentions Nick Swardson.